Here's a 65-year-old man who's been married for almost 4 decades, retired from an oil company where he worked for 35 years, and happily married with 4 kids. But something happened recently where his last child was involved in an accident, and the hospital requested for blood donation from the family, which was meant to be a very easy task because here we have 3 other siblings and the parents. Now, in the process of carrying out these donations, a test was done on the young man where this very man discovered that the boy is AS. And the last time he checked, he's AA, his wife is also AA. So the possibility of having an AS, I still stand to be corrected by the medical professionals. The possibility of having an AS as an offspring is almost impossible. But that was not where the curiosity led into. The curiosity led him further. He went further into getting samples from this child. And I don't know why I keep referring to him as a child. He's a grown-up man. All right. Went ahead to get samples and did a DNA test. Now the DNA results came back. Behold, the boy is not his. Now he got devastated. All right, he got devastated. Obviously, everyone in that position would. Okay, now he got devastated and went further to run another DNA test on his other 2 kids who are in the country, who are in Nigeria. Now, out of the 4 kids, one is, of course, one of them is abroad, one is outside the country, the other 3 are here. So he had access to these 3 right now. So he ran a test on these other 2 kids. Behold, also, they are not his. I don't want to even imagine what he must have gone through, finding out 3 out of his 4 children are not his. He's so devastated, he doesn't know what to do, if he's to confront the wife or call a family meeting and address the issue. And that's why we're here. I'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Share It with Noble, and my name is Valentine Agogo, and I'm here on set with Mr. Augustine Omilo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And Dr. Chidi Peters. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now you heard the story, all right? I know our viewers are very curious to know what angles we're going to explore this within a short frame of time we have available to us. Let me start with you, Mr. Augustine Omilo. You've been a regular face on Share with Noble. So from previous contents and with your level of experience, what would you recommend as a solution or a step towards a positive solution for this man?
You know, I don't like being on the same set with
I can imagine.
Because you never agree with me.
Yes.
And I like to be on the side of success and peace.
Okay.
You know, you see, the truth is that there's nothing that has a meaning until you give it one.
Okay.
Now, I sympathize with this man, that this 65-year-old man that is experiencing this, because at his age, anything can happen. And maybe, for me, for now, he should relax. There's no need for shaking. Because, you see, the test that was carried out, first of all, maybe 40 in the first place. Now, but even if it is not 40, was he happy that he had a child at the time these children were born? And if he was happy at that time, what did he do? And if he did something to accept those children as his own at that time, it is too late for him to now say they are no longer his children. Because, the fact that he wasn't responsible for the pregnancy of these children does not necessarily mean he can no longer have them as his children. Because I was discussing with a lady a while ago, even before we started this program, there was a similar, because the lady was saying that even if somebody like that rejects the children, one, the children will be traumatized, the so-called wife will be traumatized, he himself may even die as a result of the heartbreak. And so in all this, who is going to lose? The man. Because if you look at the age of the man now, how many years does he have to live again to leave these children to be on their own? So he should just relax and allow the children to grow up and continue to grow up, remaining his own, because he has invested so much. Who was the father of Jesus Christ? You know, because the father of Jesus Christ, if you like, is the Holy Spirit. And the man that actually now, you know, people, but we know now that, so, but when the news came that Mary was pregnant, the father of Jesus Christ did not protest. And today now we know the father of Jesus Christ, and we are happy that we are relating with Jesus Christ and all that. So the man should not fret any longer.
It's all right. Okay. Dr. Peters, I believe you have a different perspective to this. So what's your angle on this issue?
I've got a different perspective to this matter. The issue that Omilo was talking about, Mary and Joseph and
the father of Jesus.
I think that is a divine arrangement by God. And of course, at the beginning, Joseph did not agree on that. Joseph, his mindset was that the woman may have cheated on him to become Jesus Christ until, of course, there was intervention of the Holy Spirit. So sometimes this matter, we shouldn't go much more biblical. This is a traditional issue, as a matter of fact. In Igbo culture, where I come from, by now the woman should be sent packing. The woman have to go and answer questions before the homeowners. And if the woman is free to resolve the matter, he go to the deities to resolve the matter. There's no way a man will be got 4 children, and the science has been done is saying that they are not his children. So if science, okay, he says it's a mistake, they should go to Shrine and prove that it's a mistake or not. Or they should find out some other way, by whether it's by native ways or things like that, to find out whether actually this is his children or not. And again, to question the woman, because I have not the woman, what really happened? Could it be fault from the man? Maybe the thing is not functioning well, or is it something must have gone wrong somewhere? So there are basic things we should ask the man first, and the man should also confront the wife. And if he should leave this thing, if he should live with this incident, he will die in silence, and he's going to die a disastrous death, because it's an agony, it's a pain. So not until he calls his wife to ask the wife question, take the matter to the family, in as much as maybe he's going to bring a kind of stigmatization part of the children, but let it be established. You understand that the woman has done something wrong. If it's where they're going to prevent the woman, they should do that. But at the same time, at this moment, the man is traumatized. The man needs serious counseling and psychological evaluation continuously. This kind of thing could lead to suicide. Let me tell you, if this should happen to a younger person of 40, 45, 50, my brother, it will be a different game altogether. By now, if the one is not packing, the man is packing. Because I've seen this thing happen in Benin.
Well, Dr. Peters, you actually said a lot. That's a lot to take in. And I believe Mr. Gosomilo has his own opinion on your own point of view. But we'll be right back. But please don't forget to like, share, drop your comments, and subscribe. We'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back. It's been shared with Noble, and we've been talking about a DNA crisis of a 65-year-old man who just discovered that 3 out of 4 of his kids are not actually his. And Mr. Augustino Milo came with the fact that the father of Jesus was Holy Spirit, and the man should tread carefully and let things just slide. Meanwhile, Dr. Peters, on the other hand, has a different perspective and a more confrontational angle, where the woman should be called to order, where there should be a crisis resolution and all that. Well, it's been a tough house. But I also want to know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section and let us know what you think. All right, your opinion really matters a lot to us. All right, so back to you, Mr. Augustino Milo. Now, you heard everything Mr. Dr. Peter said.
Yes.
So what's your take on his angle?
Yes, from this point, I want to also say that marriage is a whole lot of work. And therefore, when people are married, because the genesis of this matter is that this man was not at home all the time. She left her house for people to console or to actually have a relationship with the wife. Because marriage is not just about getting married and paying dowry. It's also about establishing relationship for companionship. So the companionship aspect of marriage was not there. So he was more interested in traveling out, making money and all that. And the woman was lacking something. And that was what somebody else provided while he was there. So therefore, even if you have to travel because of the nature of your job, you must make as much time as possible available to take care of your family. Don't just say because my job is I have to travel. Don't travel all the time. Even if you have to travel, make arrangement for companionship with your wife. That's the way I see it. If that was done, maybe the wife would have not have an opportunity to be looking out for.
So are you still standing on your initial ground where he should let the matter just slide and accept the children as is, since he's not going to be around for forever?
Yes, he should accept the children because the blame is on him. Because if he was around all the
the
time,
blame is actually on him.
yes, it's on him. He caused the
Interesting.
problem. Yeah, he caused the problem because if he was around to offer companionship with the wife, the wife would not have been tempted to do whatever it is, assuming that is the correct situation. So for me, that poses a lot of challenges now to modern marriages or people that are getting into marriage today now, because you say it's an upwardly mobile manager, and therefore today it's in London, tomorrow it's in America, and all that, leaving your wife that is supposed to be also keeping tab on, in terms of companionship. So for me, yes, let him just accept what he has caused for himself and move on, giving lessons to other persons that
without bringing it up with the wife at all.
Yes, he doesn't have to bring it for anybody at all, but just, well, even if he has to bring it out with the wife, but not with the intention of maybe asking the wife to go
and all
or
that.
ending the marriage and all that. He just have to quietly regret his actions while he was younger and all that.
Very quick one, please.
Uncle Omilo, Val, I don't know if we're in Igbo land, the man should have been gone by now. Whether the man traveled, whether it's in or not. That's what I have that marriage contract with a man in Igbo culture, from where I come from. If you step out, the man will die if you don't talk. The man will get sick and die. Or in this other culture, if you get out, whether the man is in or not, the woman dies. So I don't know where the word man comes from. Maybe you also have come from some other people, don't know. But if truly man is an Igbo man, that need to ask questions. And don't tell me because man is not around, because of it, you now have to get a companionship. It doesn't mean anybody who is an infidel woman is an infidel woman. Whether you like it, a man, just like a man that is a flirt is a man that is a flirt, whether the woman is there or not. So the issue is not matter of it. The issue that we are trying to save this man's life. There's need, if the actual man for Igbo land or in some part of this country, Africa, there's need for this matter to reach the village and some.
All right,
things to be done.
There's
no Christianity in this one. No. Don't bring Western life in this one.
Okay.
This is pure thing that have to do with culture. When the woman goes out in Igbo culture, the woman, a cleansing must be done for the man to eat what she cooks.
Okay.
But the man somehow is also given a privilege. So I don't know why.
Well, anyway, so at this point, we'll be back shortly because it's either of two things. Either we come to resolution and see how this man can actually come to peace with it or make headway, or we have to agree to disagree on set, and he has to pick which of them suits him best. We'll be right back shortly. All right, welcome back. Now, this has been shared with Noble. We've been making headways with addressing the issues the way it is. Okay, so a very quick one, Mr. Augustino Milo. You've made your point very well. You made a point. Now, he's watching right now. What would you, I know you've already made your suggestions earlier. Now, what steps would you ask him to really take? Because he's human, right? He will see the wife every day, and those thoughts will be going through his mind. Those thoughts can build up into something violent that he would regret when it carries that into action. All right. So now, what would you advise him to really do now?
First of all, let me assume that he's a Christian, and anger resides in the hearts of fools. And if he's not a foolish man, he should not be in a hurry to take an action that he may regret later. And therefore, there is need for him to sit back and reflect on all the things that have happened in the past. And if there is place for him to give gratitude to the Almighty, he should not forget, because in all these things, there are some of the things that will happen on earth here that we may not be able to understand. Some of these things are setups. In nature, there are some things that happen that we may not be able to explain, but they just have to happen for people to actually learn some lessons before they run out of time on their stay on the earth here. And therefore, this man may have just been provided an opportunity to actually develop himself to a level where some persons will learn some lessons from him and therefore be happy that he came on this earth at this time. So for me, let him just reflect on these things and see how he can personally develop an attitude that will help him.
Okay. So Dr. Peter, one final word on this.
I still pity the man. I can't just imagine the kind of trauma he's passing through to take a stand on this matter. But no matter how he wants to take the stand had to be decisive. In as much as the age is on his side too, they have to also make the point known to the children. No matter how he wants to hide it, the truth will definitely come out later. Maybe when the truth is going to come out, by that time the man must have been late. And when man is late, when the children are coming to talk, they say, "My friend, keep quiet. Who is your father?" So let the truth be known now, and you can formalize it by so okay, that's how it has happened. Whatever is going to be done, let it be done. Of course, the children would have that acceptability. Otherwise, when the time arises in future, they may not get that acceptability as they required in the villages or the rural places. It happened in, I think, in Ondo, where a man discovered that the 5 children are not his, and he slaughtered them. But if he had come out to speak out and he was giving solutions and asked him not to swallow his pains, my brother, when you are pain, my brother, cry, and make sure you cry out of pains. But when you allow the pains to dwell in you, it causes sadness. And when sadness comes in, it comes with depression. And when depression comes in, it comes with an unfortunate, regrettable incident that the man will regret later. So let him cry out to the family member, to the wife, to the children. Let them know their stand, and that's solve the problem for them.
All right, so we've actually heard a lot from our panelists here, but I also want to make my own contributions. Now, we're depending a lot on you guys out there, your comments. You'll be amazed how important your own comments would go in setting things right for our friend here who's having this issue. All right, now it's not a strange thing to actually give your inheritance to an adopted child. So it's not really as critically 100% a dilemma as we might want to make it sound right now. Of course, the fact that trust has been shattered, betrayal and all that, suspicion of infidelity, we also have to toe the medical line to be very sure that things are very okay in the marriage. All right, to be very sure that the man is okay, like Dr. Peter suggested, but also to know why in the first place, not 1, not 2, but 3 out of 4 so far, children are not his. All right, so a lot of inquiries have to be made, but in a very polite, in a very decent and civilized manner. All right, but still, if it turns out at the end of the day that there were reasons why the woman had to have these children outside, I don't think it's something where he should automatically cut off the children from his inheritance, because he looks like a very successful man. All right, he can't just, because he has shared bond and love with them for over 3 decades. So it's not something that he can just undo overnight. And like you also said, he needs to speak up so he doesn't make the wrong decision. So he should speak up. He should also speak to the wife about it, because I wouldn't want to completely agree with Mr. Milo here, who also said he should swallow it in. I don't think it's a walkover incident that can just be easily swallowed in. But I think there's a measure at which he can handle this thing with utmost maturity. That's exactly what Mr. Augusto Milo is coming in. Yeah, that's the angle he's coming in from. All right. But whatever the case may be, I believe he must have had a lot of options to take from us here on Shared with Noble. And also from you out there, your comment means a lot to us. All right. So he would have a lot of options to explore, all right, in resolving this issue. He apparently loves the children and loves his family. So I believe all these options that are available for him to get some succor and, of course, derive some way out, basically. But don't forget to drop your comments, because it will go a long way in solving this issue. All right. For more Noble TV Live, please do like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification button for similar prompt updates. I remain Valentine Agogo, and this has been Shared with Noble. Thank you.